Great. So before I actually start, I would like to ask you a short question. Just raise your hands. Who of you did actually download within the last 6 months an application from any app store, be it Android or iOS? Just raise your hand. All right. Fair enough to agree that all of you did so, right? Just raise your hands who did pay for this application. One single person. Okay, what the whole app industry actually learned us is that we can get applications and even software or services for free. However, we will then share our personal data with these kind of manufacturers or developers. I'm not arguing data sharing is bad. I'm trying to show you a way that is by far more efficient and will then contribute to us as a society. Before I start, just a little introduction. I'm a molecular health scientist. I'm intrinsically interested in the most plastic tissue that you're carrying around on your body, which is muscle tissue. And I'm doing a PhD with predicting the most efficient and effective hypertrophy-inducing resistant exercise training regimes. And I'm basically here because, or on behalf of Professor Hafen, who is the godfather of MIDATA. He's on holidays, so poor PhD students have to take the job. I'm happy to do so, because it's a very interesting topic. This is Ernst Hafen. He's the head of the biology curriculum at ETH Zurich, deputy head of the Institute of Molecular Systems Biology, PhD in 1983, postdoc then in California, former president of ETH, and since then full professor at the Institute of Molecular Systems Biology. The most important information you need to know about him is he's a geneticist. What do geneticists do? They attend talks and conferences about genetics. So, in 2008, he was invited to Google in the United States, where he met Linda Abbey, the co-founder of 23andMe, who was talking about her startup company that time, and she was elaborating on how successful her company could actually contribute to solve modern health diseases with doing genome-wide association studies, and asked for financial support and asked for basically saliva that they can then extract genomic information from citizens. So Ernst was really intrigued by this talk, and now you can take a very educated guess what the whole Hafen family received as a Christmas gift. In the same year, they all get their genome sequenced by 23andMe. Ernst is a pretty smart guy, because he did basically talk to his wife, who is an elementary school teacher beforehand, because it would immediately become apparent if 1 or 2 or 3 sons would not be from him. I could have probably imagined it would have been a pretty interesting evening if she said something like, I'm having ethical concerns, I don't want to, but as you can tell from his smile, and I can reassure you this as well, all his sons are from him actually. During the last 10 years, 23andMe could not hold up with their promises and got problems with the FDA, Federal Drug Association, and is now only doing ancestry relationships. So Ernst's intention was that he could contribute to science, and he was really disappointed and felt betrayed. So that's why he started MIDATA. We know that personal data is the basis for precision medicine and precision public health. we have a lot of stakeholders involved in this game. We need personalized health data. The more data we can aggregate and integrate, the more we know about patients. It would be super nice if we can aggregate blood pressure, fitness data, personal genomics, etc. Of course, would then be something like a Google map of health. However, we need data from millions of people, and the contribution, the active participation, is essential and obvious in this case. Efi Vaiana did publish a nice paper in 2014. She did a survey among ETH and University of Zurich students. The N was above 1,100 through all degree courses with all different kinds of religious backgrounds. And 60% of students said they would donate their genomic information with doing a direct-to-consumer genotype test to share it with the scientific community, to do research on their information, free of charge. And this is a huge opportunity. However, we face challenges at the moment, and these are quite obvious because all of us are contributing data. And these data, they're trapped basically in data silos, and they're not communicating with each other. So clinicians can, for example, not access your information. Then we have minimal control and access over our own personal data, and the data benefits neither the individual nor the community. Basically, only the companies benefit. We know Facebook, it's really nice that the share dropped so much today. I'm pretty happy because we need to rebalance socioeconomic asymmetry in data-driven economy to keep up with democracy. How can we achieve this? If we give back data to the people and empower citizens, we can get the right back for our own data. We need a legal right to digital copies of all our personal data, be it medical or non-medical, be it a cumulus or a podar heartbeat data set. We need safe and secure platforms on which we can store, manage, and share data on our own terms. And these should be not-for-profit, cooperative, organized structures. And of course, it would be super nice to have the revenues that are derived from these kind of platforms would be reinvested into additional projects that benefit members and the society at large. These are the basis of MIDATA, and this is how MIDATA got designed. We have sources that then integrate into the hardware platform of MIDATA, and you personally are the only one having the encryption key, and you personally decide whether you want to share your data anonymously with science or not. And it's totally fine if you don't want to share your diet, your data. I'm hungry, so MIDATA is basically a new trust-promoting framework that is totally citizen-owned. It's not for profit. It's open source. The source is available on GitHub. It's transparent. It's secure because everything is highly encrypted, and it's regional. So project partners so far are ETH Zurich, the Berner Fachhochschule, then Swiss Personalized Health Network, University Hospital in Zurich, University of Leiden, Oxford, and the Charité in Berlin. Let me explain the ecosystem actually. So we have the hardware platform where you can store data, you can manage, visualize data, and you can manage consent and access. This is pretty important when it comes to studies. It got developed by ETH and the Berner Fachhochschule. Professor Kosman, now head of research at Microsoft, did himself the database design and encryption. Then, of course, as a cooperative, you need to have a general assembly once a year. We have even an ethics committee, and of course we follow governance rules. Third-party applications that use MIDATA are developed with and by partners. Pretty important because we want to make sure they conform to our rules. Use cases at the moment are the following. MIMOTI is a patient-reported outcome study after bariatric surgery because clinicians have a huge problem. As soon as patients leave the hospitals, they're gone. No more information. And the same is true in multiple sclerosis. MIVADO is a secure communication channel between patients and healthcare providers at the Interspital. Then we have such a thing as well for chemotherapy. And maybe you heard of ELIScience, the biggest citizen science project in Switzerland at the moment. So ELIScience has a research question that got designed by the University Hospital in Zurich, and they just simply want to know what is the Swiss hay fever prevalence. They have no idea about this, and what are or where are the most allergy sufferers living. Additionally, they want to know whether the urban or rural population suffers more from hay fever and which symptoms occur and what is the frequency and in which combination. So the scientific goal is to actually map hay fever in Switzerland, build a hay fever cohort. They want to develop a base application for subsequent studies beginning in 2019, and they want to check out the symptoms, medication, multiple allergy, exposition, and so on. Experts are actually answering questions of participants. This is a really important process because you can only build trust if you have experts that take care of your participants in studies, especially in citizen science studies. And then you want to raise awareness and sympathy for the whole study with transparency. So you can go right now to your favorite app store and download the ELIScience application. You will see a login screen where you can log into MIDATA. Then you can actually add your living places or the places you commute to. You can then specify the medication you're using against the suffering of which organs, for example, and then day by day you can rate the intensity of your eyes. The same holds true for your nose. You can see the course of your symptoms, all concentration in your region, and you can see how others who actually suffer goes by. Of course, such a project needs a lot of project partners, bringing in finances and competencies. This is just a short list. And for those who are interested, some facts and figures. The kickoff was in November and to go live 24th of April, so you roughly need half a year to get this application developed and rolled out. The first 10 day user numbers, you can expect about 50,000 visits and 10,000 downloads. We had a conversion rate of 60% and already 184,000 records made in the database. We had 38 publications in news and media portals. Radio stations did contribute 9 audio records and 2 TV broadcasts were done. So how does it look like in the ELIScience ecosystem? Basically, users are downloading the application, consenting and reporting via the ELIScience application that gets additional information from external data sources. Then data get aggregated and integrated into the database of MIDATA. And as soon as you allow scientists to do research on it, you can anonymously contribute it to the PIs that then publish papers, hopefully. So you can benefit as a patient. This is basically the basis for subsequent research projects, and in 2019 we're going to extend the external data sources and have Dyson who wants to basically have additional questions answered within this study contribute what's really important to understand is if you should consider running such a study, or if you're interested in running citizen science studies or studies in a small cohort, you can basically use MIDATA because it makes it flawlessly going through ethical approval. Because it's now well known at the CEC, at the ETH Commission here in Zurich, so you only have to write 3-4 sentences and it's done basically. Right. So I hope I gave you a short overview what MIDATA can actually be used for, how we can benefit as a society when we store our personal information on such a cooperative governed platform and then give our data anonymously to researchers such as us. If you should have additional questions, you can contact these guys actually. I'm just a cooperative member.